Hey, welcome to yet another edition of POS. It's Bobby and I. We're hanging out. Neither one of us have crazy background. We care more now. We care more about the product, Bobby. I think that's what it is. We're not worried about the backgrounds,
Or I'm just exhausted and didn't have time to make a bullshit one.
right? And every time that I try to blur mine or do something, it shuts down how I record. So yeah, but I was gonna go with that. We're artistes now. Like, that's what it is. We're artistes. It's fine. But real quick, if anyone out there is listening right now or watching and you have an issue with the audio, you know what you should do? What you normally do, and not tell us throughout the fucking show, and then wait till it's over, then comment, "What the fuck, the audio?" Because that helps. Because I can always do it post haste. What am I, fucking production? We don't know what we're doing. We go on StreamYard, we hit a button, we talk. We appreciate if you're watching it. But if in real time, if you're like, well, I don't watch it live, well, then you don't get a say. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not, you don't. I mean, I understand. I can't listen to shit as bad audio either. So if you don't listen, I understand, and I'm sorry. And you're probably no. We get a lot of times people will go, well, fucking Pat, you're a professional radio guy. You don't have good audio. Well, I don't live at a radio station. First of all, assholes. I live in my house, and I don't have great stuff here because I don't do radio from here. I'm also not a professional radio guy. I'm a comedian that was a guest on radio a bunch, and I was like, oh, this looks fun to do, and I'm poor, so that's a part-time job I can get. I'm still learning how to do that. If they didn't, every time there's a problem at the studio, I ask other people to help me there too. I don't know what I'm doing anywhere. So for you to think I know what I'm doing somewhere is insane.
I'm a comedian. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, let alone with audio, okay? I'm trying. We're just trying things and seeing what works. Good evening to you too, Scott and Stormy.
Yeah, hello, you two. I appreciate you guys all the time. And Stormy, by the way, thank
And
you.
Lucas.
Stormy's been really helping out behind the scenes with some fun little clips and doing stuff like that, and we really appreciate you, Stormy. It was fun that one of them was all about you. But anyway, no, I'm kidding. It's great. Well, your love there.
You're killing it, Stormy.
Everybody's great. They're wonderful. How are they? Wonderful. By the way, in case at any point I have to get up and run away for a second, I have a colonoscopy tomorrow, so I've had to take the prep. Now, first of all, and I posted this today, I said to somebody, I'm having a colonoscopy, and I was like, so I don't want that finger in my butt. And they're like, well, no, that's not a finger in the butt. That's a camera in the butt. And I was like, what? And I think that thing that every hack comic talks about with the finger in the butt and leaning over. And like, no, that's a proctology exam. And I was today years old when I learned those are two different things. I thought there was just a fancy term and a layman's term for stuff in the butt. And I didn't realize that. But I had to drink some gross juice about a couple hours ago, and now I'm whistling Dixie out my poop hole, and I'm good right now because it's been a couple hours, and I don't have to take it again until like I have to wake up like 4 in the morning to do one more shot of it, and then once I'm out of anesthesia and woken up, I'll be heading to Compound Media so Bobby and I can be on there at 4 o'clock filling for Mr. Anthony Cumia. So I don't want to hear about Anthony Cumia's procedures he had to go through forever where he couldn't be on the air. I'm going through procedures and I'll be there that day. Wow, quadruple bypass. I have a one-tuple butt pass, so it's way harder.
I gotta ask, you said you had drank a weird juice?
Butt
Who do
juice.
you think had a worse time drinking weird juice, you or the kids at Neverland Ranch?
Me, because those kids knew going in what's going to happen. I don't.
Well,
Holy shit. Why is it butthole week for us, Terry? What is... And I say to people, and someone asked me if it was my first one, and I'm like, yeah. How many do you get? And someone's like, or do you have like a ailment? I go, I'm not dying. I was just my doctor was just like okay. So I was, truth be told, go ahead. You go ahead.
let's
First.
role play. I'll be the doctor, you be you, and then we'll switch roles.
Well, it's not going to work with this, unless I put the scenario. But we'll do that first, and then I'll tell the real reason why. I guess.
Oh, okay.
So am I
Hey,
me, and you're
yeah,
the
yeah,
doctor?
Hey,
All right.
Mr. Oates, you know what
Why are you white?
Because you surprisingly have good health insurance for a comedian, but not good enough health insurance, if you catch my drift. Okay, it could be worse.
Your last name better be Patel if you're coming here like that. I don't need this in my life. But okay, but real quick, the reason why I'm doing this, it was a trade off with a doctor, which is it already sounds cheap and crazy. I needed a form filled out because for a while I haven't been able to drive, and it was a long story thing where they thought years ago I got my license taken away because they thought I had was like seizures or some kind of neurological problem, but I really was just drunk when I was drinking at the time. I took the keys out of the car when they found me in the car. So like, he must pass out. Nobody filled out this form forever. I was trying to get someone, my regular doctor, to give me a reference to another doctor so I could get this done. So this newer doctor who was like a college guy who was doing a residency, he was there when I was doing it, and everyone else said no. And I told him my story, and he goes, yeah, but you're like, well, how old are you? And I was about to turn 49 at the time. I'm like, I'm about to turn 49. He goes, so have you had a colonoscopy yet? I'm like, no. He goes, well, if you let me sign you up for a colonoscopy, I'll fill out this paper. And I was like, son of a bitch. The guy had me at the thing.
The fuck out. Okay. So you needed a medical form signed that no one else was willing to sign, and this guy was like, I'll sign it if I can shove a camera up your ass. Dude, I think you're getting molested tomorrow.
But I got the forms. Sometimes you got to take it for the team.
That's what every Weinstein victim thought.
Kish, how are you, sir? Anyway,
Kish.
But I think it's a fair trade.
No. The trade options, your butthole is your Michael Jordan. He's never available for trading, okay? You're not letting things in your butt. Why? Why do people... Here, you be the doctor. Tell me it's time for my colonoscopy.
It's time for your colonoscopy, Mr.
I'd rather
Devereaux.
die. Thank you anyway.
Wait, you want to die? Why? What if I have problems with my hole?
I'd rather die than have something go in there, Doc.
What if I have butthole polyps?
I mean, I figured that's kind of what's going on.
I don't think I have anything wrong with my butthole. I poop fine. I'm not bleeding out of there like Starring John or anything. I've never had a hemorrhoid. I think my butthole is pretty sweet. It's never been tampered with. No one's ever thrown anything up there, no kind of didge or nothing. It's just a good time.
Now, will you be getting painkillers afterwards?
Why would I get painkillers?
I don't know, but could you ask for some? Just be like, my butthole really hurts. Can I get some Percocet for my buddy Bob? I mean, my butthole.
My butthole, Bobby?
Yeah, my butthole. Well, if you asked Frank Mergallo, he'd certainly agree with that. He probably wouldn't say butt, though.
I need my damn butthole. Needs pills. That's what I'll call it. I call it my damn butthole. And can you write a prescription to Bobby damn butthole?
You could call it whatever the fuck you want as long as you bring those Percocets with you to the compound, okay? Some of us are trying to get on other people's level that evening.
Like, I literally know nothing about what I'm doing tomorrow. So people keep going like, are you getting local anesthetic? And I'm like, well, I don't think it's from somewhere else. And they're like, you're an idiot. I'm like, I'm guessing it's from here. It's like, it's farm to table anesthesia.
So, actually, Dr. Steve is the one who taught me about this via his show, Weird Medicine. I don't know if you've ever listened.
No, I've heard the name. I think Kumi has said it one time, but I don't know Dr. Steve.
So, Dr. Steve's a great dude. I'm just going to throw that out there. There were several things he helped me out with that, like, doctors would have given me the wrong advice, and my life got better because I called into his show.
He's like, you don't need condoms ever, Bobby.
No. Like, one of them was like, the doctor was like, hey, you need this surgery, and I called Dr. Steve, and he texted back and was like, the audio's shit, so I can't use it on air, but just lose 30 pounds, you fat fuck, and you'll feel better. And it's like, oh, yeah, you will. I don't think he called me a fat fuck, but he's got like an Opie and Anthony Edge. He's a normal dude. And
have you had doctors say wild shit to you before? Like, for real?
No, because my parents are doctors, so I usually out-doc the doc.
What do you mean
diagnose myself, usually.
No, I just meant, like, if they talk like in a way you're like, whoa, doctors don't say that. Have you heard, like, those guys?
No, because, like, from a young age, we would refer to things as, like, the gluteal crease instead of the butt crack.
Who's
the anal pore instead of the butthole?
No, hold on. What doctor would say butt crack? And in what situation are you talking to a doctor about your butt crack? I don't think any doctor's ever talked to me about the crease in my cheeks, ever.
Well, then lucky you. You must have a clean butt crack.
You have a Ew.
I'm not saying me. I'm just saying people.
Ew. Who has dirty... I don't even want to go on this, but, like, I can hear if you have a dirty butthole, I guess. That's why they bleach them. But who's got dirty crap? Like, who's got so much issue they're not... Even when you wipe every time, you should be cleaning out whatever the dirt is in your crack, I would think.
Paraplegics.
2 of them?
It's pretty good. But, yeah, so you can either get local, which is they numb you.
Why is it called local?
Because it's the area. It's local to the butthole. They're numbing your butthole, not
no, shut up, because they...
I swear to God. I swear to God, this is the difference. And then general is the whole body. You're being put to sleep. You won't feel anything.
Okay, you've been a religious person, so you can't. It's not local just for your butthole. They
No,
use it for
it's-
other things.
Yeah, so if you were getting a tooth pulled, you might get local anesthetic on the root canal. It's like they're giving it to a specific area. It's not
Oh.
affecting the whole body.
The way you said it, I thought you meant it was known just for your butthole. I'm like,
No,
you are very
no,
focused
no.
on cheeks and hole in my butthole.
And yeah, well, yes, tomorrow your procedure, but I am focused on that because everybody always is trying to get in there. You ever notice that?
No one's ever. This is the first time anyone's been interested. In
Bullshit. You haven't had a girl try to put a finger in or be like, "Can I peg you?" And you're like, "If you do, I can't promise this won't be a domestic violence situation. That's assault."
Because want to know why, Bobby? Because I am a communicator. So early on, even before any of that stuff even starts coming awry, I always say, "Hey, here's the things I don't like." So it's never an issue.
Okay. We always end up in a weird place, but the issue is when you put that flag down right away, then it becomes the forbidden fruit, and all they want to do is get in that area. You said that's not going to happen.
I think you date meaner people than me.
I do.
It's like,
I make very bad decisions with my life, but God, is it fun.
but I don't think it's fun because there's been many times where you're like, "This is sad," and I feel alone. That doesn't sound fun.
No, it's kind of like a heroin addiction, to be honest with you. When you're on the heroin, boy, is it fun. But when you don't have it, oof, it's a bleak world, and you die in a hotel. Like,
And for all our people out there that are watching, it all just relate to that. Like every time I have a heroin addiction, I know what I'm talking about.
yes, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say most of our fans,
Kish never did heroin.
Kish, spend some time in the Orient, okay? It wasn't even called China then; it was just the Orient.
Kish might have
knew
visited
you
some
were the
Asian
one,
women.
Stormy.
But he's not doing that.
Can you click on Stormy's comment? I knew she was the one when I proposed last week in that clip she put out.
You want to try Bobby's butthole?
No, she can say I've never wanted to try that forbidden fruit.
Oh, I can say I never wanted to try. I thought you said I can say I can't
That's
say.
a sentence you don't want to screw up, Pat.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it said can't. I was like, oh boy, that's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, so if I'm feeling good right now, but at some point I get up for a second, and normally I'm drinking coffee or whatever, I'm not having anything. That's the other thing too. I had to find out what I could have all day, and then I was like, black coffee is a clear liquid, right? And someone said to me, well, no, it's black, and I go, you're an idiot. Like, it's clear because it's not clouded with like milk or whatever. So yeah, I was able to have coffee today, and now I'm drinking water. But I hate the part where I gotta wake. And by the way, as I was prepping this, and they told me my appointment was at 7 a.m. As I started my first drink of goo at By the way, the stuff they give you, the 6 ounces of stuff you pour in and add water. When you read that, it's like if you drink just this, you could die. Like it's when people say about cranberry juice, it's like you can't just eat cranberries; it'll fucking rip apart your inside. But we want you to drink it anyway, and we're trusting you to dilute it right. I'm not a scientist. Fuck off. Why don't you already make it? Why can't it already be blended together? Why is it Kool-Aid?
They do make it pre-made, but typically that's for like
People with good insurance.
no, the opposite. Not the opposite, but like people with lower intellect, where they're like, you can't screw this up.
No, but okay, I appreciate
Amen,
what
Scott.
you're saying, but there wasn't one time where the doctor was like, quickly, let me do some Jeopardy questions so I can know what kind of juice you get for your hole. They don't know what my intellect was. I think it was just the cheapest
Again.
thing to get.
When you call it juice for the hole, all I can think is, do you think, how old was Michael Jackson when he died? Let's say he was at least 49 for the sake of this joke. No, I gave you the wrong juice. That's for making things go in the butthole, not come out.
I don't think he would.
That was my MJ.
No, and I appreciate your MJ, and I think we all knew it was your MJ. But I think it'd be really funny if he did like an outer monologue. Oh no! Like, heavens to Murgatroyd! I gave you the wrong juice. I have 2 kinds in my fridge. That's even creepier.
Didn't dilute that right. I diluted it like it was real. No.
By the way, for everyone out there, is the sound okay? Because you're paying attention. So if you're going to tell me Bobby's popping or I'm too soft or whatever the fuck, tell us now. Or you get butthole juice. By the way, our new sponsor, Silk City Butthole Juice. If
Use promo code RIDER.
yes, because you're going to be ridering that toilet paper all the way to the bank.
RIDER. It really would be a tale of 2 buttholes.
The tail of 2 buttholes? What's this? This is
Propofol,
the
that's
other
what they're gonna
thing
give you.
everyone's saying to me. What
they're
is
gonna give you
propofol?
It's a general anesthetic that puts you to sleep. It's also a
I'm not having a general. I'm having a local, aren't I?
No, it's. I wish I had an answer for you, but it's actually like a really debated topic. That's what I was getting into with the Dr. Steve thing. So he's really against general anesthesia unless it's absolutely necessary, because there's always a chance that you get the MJ.
I thought we were going to have the soldiers here early. We can't because general anesthesia is always tired.
I wasn't sure where you were going until you said general anesthesia, but that was.
I'm going to the worst joke you could think of possible. That's where I go. Give me a softball, and I'm hitting that softball exactly where you think I'm hitting it. You might be like, "Oh, is he going to go the other way?" No, I'm going exactly where you think the softball is going. General anesthesia. So, hopefully, I don't have to piss out my asshole throughout the show, and I'm sorry for the grossness because it is for some people it could be dinner time, and I'm hungry now. By the way. So this sucks.
I'm also hungry, but there's no polite way to be like, "Are we actually hanging out?" Because I'd like to eat if we aren't.
I think there definitely is. I think there definitely is. I've done that before. Like the other day when I'm out with somebody, and I know that they're not someone who eats a lot, and I was just like, "Hey, I know we're hanging out later. Should I eat before, or you want to eat together?" That's all I say, and you get the right answer. Because they're like, no, you know what? I might want to eat something later, but I'm not looking to eat a whole meal. So, yeah, do what you got to do. Or, like, you know what? I would like to go get something to eat. So, boom, we're doing that. I think you got to not be afraid of that lead-in.
No, I agree with that. My point is, like, if the plans are later in the week, like, let's say I have plans Thursday and I'm not planning to eat until then because I have body dysmorphia. Like, there's no nice way to be like, hey, are you going to bail on me? Because I'm going to starve myself if you aren't.
Yes, there is. Hey.
Just that?
I mean, I would go a little softer than body dysmorphia. I would just be like, you know, I have a little bit of a stomach ache. That's what they said. By the time we hang out, I'm probably going to be starving because I probably won't be eating for a couple of days. So I'm not sick. I've just been feeling a little nervous. No offense. I'm going to say to them, I don't want you to get weird about it. I'm a little nervous just about hanging out with you because you're so great. So I'll probably want to eat then to calm my nerves. You want to get something to eat, or should I just still be a scared bitch? And you don't put the scared bitch part in there.
The scared bitch part. I love that. No, you're assuming this is like a lady, but maybe it's like a fight. I have to cut weight.
I'm assuming it's a lady because if you ask a fella if he wants to, I'm not sure if we can eat together.
No. You're misunderstanding.
I know
don't care
you
about
did a fight joke.
No. Me and the fight are eating together. I care about not eating up until am I gonna be a Gandhi where this fucking hunger strike's gonna continue?
Can you eat with people you don't know? Like, you know, like, so, like, you meet them for the first time or you don't really know them. And people are like, oh, we should all get together and eat. Are you comfortable eating in front of anyone? Or, like, are you just sometimes where you're like, I can't eat in front of people?
I'm going to choose my food accordingly. Like, if I don't know the people, I'm not going to get something ridiculous or sloppy. But, yeah, I could eat in front of people. I think I like to think I have decent manners despite how I present myself.
I was talking to someone about this the other day, but like it came up and I was like, I can't. It's not about me. I know what I'm doing. I can form a quick opinion. I'm not big to judge people for most things, but if you eat dumb or you smack your stupid lips or you fucking or you do the napkin in here, I can't. And if I don't know you and you fucking do napkin in the tuck in the thing, or you're like that shit, or like, I don't care if you don't use the right fucking fork or knife, but if your napkin always stays in the same spot and you never lap it up or fucking do anything, I'm bothered. And if you make noise with your dumb face, or you fucking you put your hands on shit, you put in shit. Now fries, pizza, yeah, use your hands. But you're putting your hands in mashed potatoes. I mean, that's a bad example. I don't think anyone's doing that. But first, no, you know what? I can eat with the guy who's eating with his hands in mashed potatoes because that's wild. But I think that'd be a good time. Fun. He's a good. The name was, or they just drink the soup out of the bowl.
I definitely know exactly what you mean. In the sense, I don't know if you noticed, and this might be a spoiler alert for something we're going to talk about in a little bit, but when I ate the chicken salad sandwich in the car yesterday and the chips, I literally sat there like this so you didn't see me eating to try to cover any noise because I know both of those are loud foods. It's like I am the guy who will try to do that kind of polite thing. And I know we know each other well enough, but...
And not even that. In that situation, to me, that is not a conducive eating situation. you aren't supposed to be eating at your best. You are driving, you are handling navigation, you're doing and I'm the one who said, let's stop somewhere first. So I was well aware that you were going to now be eating while we're driving. That's okay. Because also we can just turn up radio to stop the smacking. I'm not facing you at all anytime because I'm facing the window. You're facing the window. You know what I mean? If I'm looking at you while you're eating, I'm a creepy passenger. You know what I mean? So that I'm fine with. But sitting with someone I don't know and we're across from each other and they're like that shit. I'm okay if you talk with your food in your mouth a little bit. That's just natural. Or people that always go, her. Like, I hate this more. I don't know why, but like, her. And I had asked someone else, that's the person I was talking to, the same question. I was like, you ever talk to someone and they're not eating, but they do this? I'm like, what is that? Are they like trying to be quiet? They're like, no, their breath probably stinks. I was like, oh shit, I never thought of that. Or their teeth are jacked, I guess. But I'm going to eventually see their jacked teeth.
So for a while, Schultz was missing a tooth, Bill Schultz, and he
from the morning,
wouldn't look at the camera. He would like try to hide his face or do this.
Where's the tooth missing? Which part of his face?
It was one of the frontal ones. Like, it was apparent if you looked at him.
What do you mean for a while it was missing?
Like 2 months.
No, I mean like it's still missing. He might have got a new fake one, but that tooth doesn't just come back.
He found it.
He put an old tooth in his mouth?
No, they put a fake one in, but you get my point. Like, it was just a hole. There was no goalie in net, if you will. Yeah, Nader. Look at that YouTube pic, huh?
I dated this girl that her father took his shirt off while he ate.
No matter what it was.
Was he Bert Kreischer? Why the fuck is he taking his shirt off? So wait,
I almost respect it less with the last part, though, that it was only at home. Like, if it was like, no, I take my shirt off when I eat. I don't care what your sign says about shoes, shirt, service.
To me, you're popping like crazy, so maybe that's me. But like, if people aren't saying anything, no big deal. But like, I guess my thing with that is like, why? I mean, is he that sloppy, or is he not want to do laundry? There's something behind where he's doing something. Happened where it's a point where he tried. I'm guessing they tried other things, like they were bringing like the Tide stick, or they were doing other stuff. But eventually, they're like, you know what? No matter what, you're gonna fuck this shirt up. Take it off. Or why can't he just wear a t-shirt that he doesn't worry, like have an eaten shirt?
Maybe.
Was he built? Because if you're not built, first of all, I don't want to eat with you if you have 6-pack and you're like strong. But I also don't want to eat with you if you're rotund. You could be like a dad bod, but I can't go. I guess, you know what? If you are 400 pounds in fat, I guess that'd be more fun. You're like, whoa, this guy is into it.
Yeah, but no. Because it would also be like drinking with an alcoholic where you're like, this is slowly killing you.
Because I don't even like if you're at a barbecue or something outside, you're like, or like someone's making like food by the pool and like you want to eat. I usually towel off. I'll throw a shirt. I don't know. There's something about eating shirtless to me. It's just like primitive trash.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm by myself and I'm waking up in the morning or something, maybe. But typically, I'm fully clothed.
You ever eaten with
Speaking
somebody?
Of fully clothed. Look at the clothes in that YouTube profile. Who are those two sexy fellas?
What are we doing?
Just pointing out the Nader's the man.
Okay, have you ever, and not just for you, Bobby, for anyone watching, have you ever been intimate with someone and then eaten food after, like right after? Like, it's usually when you're dating someone for a while. That's not a one night stand thing. But you know what I mean? Like you're almost like making food. You order a pizza, like we have time to fool around quickly, and afterwards you have food or whatever it is, and you're still in bed. And you might be no clothes on. Have you ever eaten with someone else naked, or would you put clothes on when the food comes?
Pet, I always considered myself fat. I'm not.
I also have always considered you fat.
Other people. Okay, that's a strike.
But you're already. Oh, I think we talked about this. I think you don't you have sex like a fat kid in the pool? Like you keep the shirt on.
Sometimes.
How much do I like the chick?
Have you ever liked... No, I'm sorry.
No. Like, am I trying to impress her? Then maybe I'll keep the shirt on. Am I trying to make her, like, hate her life or fucking, like...
You just had sex with her. If you're still trying to impress her after sex with your eating game...
Look at this fat slob you just let yourself have sex with, you fucking loser.
All right, Dominic got back. I never asked why he did it. Yeah, how do you? We're joking, but how do you go?
How do you
Hey,
not? No. This might be my tism a little bit, but there are certain things, like I think I said at Thanksgiving, the one thing I almost caused a problem with was my dad tried to play this prayer my aunt sent because she couldn't be there for Thanksgiving. And I just went, no, fuck this, in the name of the Father, and thankfully the family was. There are certain things where I'm like, I can't move on until I know.
Wait, you started a prayer with "fuck this"?
So he went to play a YouTube prayer. I saw the time on the prayer was 15 minutes while it was loading. And I went, no, fuck that. Okay, everybody, in the name of the Father, and that's how you start the prayer.
Oh no, I got that. But you literally said, no, fuck this. In the name of the Father. I don't think you can fuck this, then go to the signs of the cross. I think you just need time.
What do you think Jesus said when he let them crucify him?
Was Jesus saying prayers with his own name in it?
He just went, fuck this.
Name of the Father and the Me and the Holy Spirit, amen. Like, that's fucking awesome, dude. You think he was doing that?
Do you think he like winked and blew a kiss at Mary Magdalene when he did? In the
Holy
name of the Father,
Mary, she's
and
my
of me.
mom. Oh, fuck. Yeah, you know what, Bobby? Shit. Would I ask? Because I guess what he's saying, it's really in the situation. If we're outside, there's no question. It might be weird to me, but whatever. But if it's like Thanksgiving and we all go sit down and he just takes his shirt off and starts eating turkey and taters, that I would have to be like, what's going on? What's going on here? I might, if I was a guest like Dominic was, and he was there, and would he have to turn to the person he's with and be like, hey, do I have to do this? Like, is it a thing? Like, you know, when you go to someone's house, you're like, do I take my shoes
it's
off?
that kind of party.
Yeah. Woo!
I think the crazier part of the sentence is the second half. I remember he fell asleep with a ho-ho in his mouth once and woke up like 15 minutes later and continued to chew.
I think it's even more fucked up that Dominic didn't take the ho-ho out of said mouth because that guy could have choked and died. He just let it chill.
No, you're dating a chick. You're trying to get some sad pussy.
Wait, what? Why is it sad pussy?
Because her dad choked to death on a ho-ho.
Oh, you're hoping he dies, and then you think in her mind that
He
the
eats
first
with
thing.
his shirt off. Yes, I'm not hoping he's there every meal.
No, but you're hoping that her response to said
how
loss
hard
of
it's gonna
father.
be? You know how hard it's going to be to raise a 3-year-old and be like, no, you have to keep your clothes on when you eat. And he goes, Pep doesn't keep his shirt on when he eats. Fuck that. Yeah, you hope the ho take him out.
No, you're not
knock
letting
up the
me
ho-ho.
get to the part. So I get what you're getting with the choking. What I'm saying is your mind works in a way where you're like, if her father passes away, her response to grieving is to want to have sex.
Yes.
Who's like, Dad's gone, put it in me? Like, no one.
You've never seen Wedding Crashers? There are
No.
funeral crashers too.
I've never
That's what
seen
Will
Wedding
Ferrell's doing at the end of the movie. He just shows up to funerals and like picks up sad chicks.
And you just said the reason why I've never seen Wedding Crashers. Because Will Ferrell's in the end of the movie.
I remember
I've
I saw
never-
that movie in 8th grade, and the redheaded chick takes her tits out, and I was at a friend's house, and that computer got so much pornography because we spent the rest of the night Googling topless redheads. I think it really fucked up my future.
Answer your wife's question.
Okay, Stormy, what's the hottest option?
None. None.
At.
You're fucking
Not
at the
before,
funeral after.
Not after. At. Well, she's standing in that line. You pull off and you go, hey, I think you got something. Let me fix your dress. You slip off to the, little crematorium or whatever.
Ew, dude, don't say crematorium when it comes to that.
Yeah,
Like,
because I'm going to be creaming in her. It's going to be a crematorium when I'm done. Boom, I'm on fire tonight. Like I was
No,
in a
you are
crematorium.
proving to people that no one should be near you ever. You're at a funeral, at your girlfriend's father's choking on a ho-ho that you could have saved by walking by and pulling out funeral, and you're like, I'm playing the game where I'm hoping that he chokes on it so when he dies I can fuck you at said funeral home. That's insane.
Yeah, but you could use a good line like, I know you're really sad, but you wear mourning the loss of your paternal guidance very well.
Okay, if I'm the woman and you're
It'd
the
look even
boyfriend,
better on the floor of my room or something.
if I'm the woman and you're the boyfriend, and my father just died, and I know maybe you saw the hole and you told me later I saw it in his mouth 15 minutes, but I didn't do nothing. You wouldn't be allowed at the funeral. Like you could have prevented my father's death, but you let the ho stay in there because you thought weirdly that I would get sad enough to fuck you at a funeral. You're not at the funeral.
Look, baby, ever seen Breaking Bad? Remember
No,
Walter
I don't
White?
like meth.
Okay, well, Walter White saw Jesse Pinkman's girlfriend overdosing, and he didn't roll her onto her side because she was bad for Jesse. I know you think there's a danger out there. I know you think there's a danger every time there's a knock at the door. But no, I am the danger. I am the one who knocks. And then we would get it on.
I have two questions, Bobby. One,
Yeah.
did you just say my father is bad for me and he should be dead? And
You're
two,
dating me. So he clearly wasn't good for you.
two, did you just compare
Still
my
to me.
father to a meth addict?
She was a sexy meth addict. Your father wasn't that sexy.
What the fuck, dude? You shouldn't be allowed to be with people.
God.
But speaking of being with people, Bobby and I did a show last night together.
We sure did.
So thank you, Comics Roadhouse at Mohegan Sun, for having us. Small, the saying "small but mighty." They were small. I don't know if they were mighty, but they were small. But it was fun. It was you, me, and Ryan Brouth. We had a good time. I had a good time. I know you told me you had a good time. They were fun. It was a good place to just work out some new shit, but it was a good time.
Yeah, I worked out 2 new jokes. I thought they were mighty. I got 2 applause breaks. They were both of my tranny jokes, so I don't know if that says more about me or the crowd. They say write about what you love, and it'll really connect with people, so.
You love them?
No, I love making fun of them.
Oh, okay. I was thinking. I know how the joke goes, but I was like, maybe it came from a place of passion.
I threw that softball to you.
You did, but I didn't want to hit the tranny softball because I don't know if it's a ball or not. Hey,
It's going to come if you do. It's really into that shit.
yeah. When we're performing at, it's a casino and a comedy club, so they have shows throughout the day. So at 4:00 they have a magician. At 6 or something, they were supposed to have drag queens, and then us at 8. But the drag queens got canceled, so it was a magician who had 11
Which
people
is
there.
Really hard to do in this day and age.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know that, to be a drag queen that gets canceled.
The only way you can cancel a drag queen in 2023 is literally a show where nobody bought tickets. Because at the end of the day, here's the funny part. 10 years ago, that would never happen because there were so few and far between drag queen shows that you'd be like, oh, I guess I better go to this. There's not many. There's too many drag queen shows, and people are getting a little bit tired of them. Nobody wants to see a lady named Lipstick Magoo go up there and lip sync to John Mulaney's stand up and then try to sing Queen. It's just not fun anymore.
Especially when there's, like, this day and age, there's a 50-50 chance the comedy show later that evening is a tranny doing comedy.
Not on my watch. But anyway.
Thank God. Not in that casino.
Oh.
The Indians call her.
Yeah, but they were fun. Ryan did a great. We were both talking about it.
Too long.
We were talking about it. Ryan Brouth was on in the middle, and he was just doing some crowd work and fucking around. He was a little bit high anyway, but it was funny. We couldn't see the person. But I guess somebody in the audience was wearing like a Frosty the Snowman shirt or something. And he was just like, "How old are you?" And they said their age. He goes, "He's a little young to be that into Frosty," which I thought was very fun just to say to somebody. So I've never been into Frosty. Do you have a favorite holiday person? Like winter time, like Christmas or Hanukkah? Like I don't know if you have a favorite Hanukkah, like Kwanzaa guy. Like, do you have a favorite character?
For a while growing up, it was Jack Frost.
What does Jack Frost look like? Is he just like icicles on his nose and?
There's one where the claymation, and he looks like, like a normal dude, but just blue.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Santa has to negotiate with him. And I always kind of liked the fact that there was a dude who allowed Santa to do his job. Because, when you're a kid growing up, the idea, it's a played out thing. Oh, I don't like the idea of somebody coming in my house. But what I didn't like more than that was like this omnipresent being that knew what I was doing, how I was acting, and watching me. So the idea that there was this other entity out there above him slightly, or that could, I've always been the guy that's going to go down swinging. And so I like the idea that Jack Frost could do that if he wanted to. I know that's kind of weird.
Yeah. You take odd approaches to things that he's just supposed to be the cold. He's not getting ready to have revenge or fight.
In that movie, he is getting revenge. He's mad that everybody likes Santa more than him.
Well, in that movie, he's not real. Like, I just meant I didn't think you'd be a Rudolph guy, and I didn't think you'd be a Santa guy, but I meant like the main character, the Jack fucking Frost. That's like saying my favorite is like Cindy Who from Whoville. Like, it's deep cuts. You know what I mean? Like,
You know, I didn't think of Rudolph, but growing up, I was absolutely a Rudolph guy. Like, I was the bench guy who gave it all in practice every day. I was the kid who tried hard in school, and like, no matter how much they didn't see me, when they do, I'll be ready for my moment. I'll be gracious. The issue is, life changed me into the guy who I'll still do that, but I'm gonna let you know as I'm doing it. It's not gonna be. It would be an honor, sir. It's gonna be like, I fucking told you, you punk. Yeah, let's do it.
can you name the other reindeer? Like all of them?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen, Clarice, and then there's all of the dog.
All of it? Why would it just be some of the dog?
Olive, the dog.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck did you watch for all of the dog? Because I've seen that deep cut where it's just the bottom torso. It's like,
Oh shit.
I was like, why do you need all of the dog? Who's Clarence, you said?
Clarice?
There's a
Rudolph's
woman?
wife? That's Rudolph's wife.
Wait, whoa. Rudolph has a wife?
Yeah.
What the fuck's... That's not in the song.
It's in the movie.
What movie?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No, the one where he's like the original one. There's no wife later. It ends with him saving Christmas. He doesn't get married. And when does he get married?
She thinks I'm cute. She thinks I'm cute. And then he flies around and his nose falls off and he has to see her later. And he goes, what if she says no? What if she says yes?
To marriage?
No, to just do a date. But then if you watch the sequels to Rudolph, they have kids.
I don't recall any of the
either
dates.
she's a harlot or Rudolph did the right thing. And I would imagine if you get to be part of Santa's roster, he's going to make you do the right thing.
She's a harlot? Like a floozy?
If they weren't married,
A bimbo?
a real Mary of Nazareth, if you will. Oh, the drummer boy was great too. Fuck,
Why
I'm a
do they
sucker for
feel-
the drummer boy.
Why was it... They don't do it as much now, but why was it back in the day, whenever there was like a cartoon character or like a fictional character, they felt like kids needed that person to get married and have a love thing? Like, you're a kid. You don't think about couple. Why do I need Rudolph to have a wife? Maybe if you're saying to me they wanted to have female inclusion, just make a separate female Rudolph, but a different character. Write a story. Just give him a wife, Mister. I don't even need to know who the fuck Mrs. Claus is. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care who Bill Gates' wife was. When someone's doing, I also don't care remember when Oprah was like the biggest, and then people are like, oh, what about Stedman? Like, I don't give a fuck about Stedman. Why do I need to know about the people that fuck the people I'm watching? I just want to know
For a
about the
second,
people.
when you said Oprah the biggest, I thought you meant her fattest.
Yeah, that's when she fucked Stedman at her biggest. That's what I was saying. I was literally saying.
Stedman could get
I
it.
didn't say at her most star-studded.
I don't know. I think in that one.
Who did Buzz Aldrin fuck when he was on the moon? Who knows?
That other dude that no one remembers.
Lance
That had to stay-
Armstrong?
No, the other one who had to stay in the rocket.
Neil Armstrong?
There was a third dude. He didn't get to touch the moon though. Buzz beat him in rock paper scissors. That's who he fucked.
Wait, there was three?
One
There
guy
was-
didn't get to walk. He had to stay up in the satellite.
There was
shit.
Buzz Aldrin, Buzz Lightyear, and Woody.
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. And he was only there because Coach died.
You got a friend who can dunk in me.
Dunkin' Me is the new. I like that. That's like Dunkin' Donuts, but like for like lonely masturbators.
I think the Rudolph wife is more a classic trope.
Do I have to look up trope, or can you just tell me? what
Oh,
it is?
I'm sorry. Like a theme of human nature. And that's like, why do you do anything?
Why do I? You're asking me, or you're asking the general we?
Pussy.
I do things because of pussy?
Whether you realize it or not. Yeah, absolutely.
No, I would know. I don't do a lot of things for pussy.
And by that I mean like, but it's just the idea of like, no, that's what you do. You go, you do your job, you have a family, you have kids. That was what it was in the 40s.
you
when
have
there was a
kids for
war.
pussy?
No. I'm joking. I'm saying like, that's why they put the message out there though. Like you do everything so you could get a good wife, so you could have kids, so we could have more soldiers to beat them Nazis.
No, but I would love that that mind theory where some guy's so dumb he goes, "This lady doesn't like me. Maybe if I get her pregnant, she'll let me fuck her." It's like, dude.
Man, I've heard worse strategies. Kish has the answer, by the way.
Michael Collins was the third. Yeah, but see, with Kish, because he's old and has a beard, we don't even look this up. He could be lying. Michael Collins was the inventor of the gin Collins, or the drink.
I thought he was the one who went.
No, that's... Oh, Phil's not doing well. Phil is bad. Phil got in a car accident years ago, and he got spinal problems. It's deteriorating, and he's about to die. And his son tries to take over. If you ever listen to Phil Collins' son do shit, first of all, unfortunate for Phil Collins' son. He's a singer, but he also looks like Phil Collins, so he's already an ugly boy. But Phil made that ugly look okay for him. But you can't now try to be like lesser than that. And also, he sounds like his dad, so everyone's like, "Who is this guy pretending to be Phil Collins?" Like, it's his son. Like, get away from all that.
When they hit the car crash, do you think it sounded like ba-dun dun 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 dun?
Oh, and now Kish is being all inclusive and using pronouns properly. He called that guy Michael Collins they.
Well, no, he wasn't one of the theys. He was the man who had to stay in the rocket. Because that's what life's about as a man, Pat. You do all the work, and then other people, the theys of the world, get to go walk on the moon.
Here's what I hope happened. Now, I don't want to offend anybody. We're going under the theory that people landed on the moon. I know there's people out there that don't think we did. But if you're going under the theory that we landed on the moon, I like to think that Buzz and the other guy went out there and did the small step for man thing, whatever. And then Collins was like, hitting him up on the phone going, "Can I come out? Can I come out?" They're like, "Yeah, but not on camera, bro." And then they turned the camera off, and then they let him dance around a little bit, and then they went back in and they turned the camera. Like, they would let him do it, but they're like, "Nah, you don't get the fucking claim." Because how do you not get out? If you're on the moon, I would not stay in the ship. I'd have to go out and check out the moon.
He wasn't on the moon.
Where the fuck was he?
So one dude, they had this back part, right, that dropped off the rocket that landed on the moon.
He's still out there?
No, he was in the shuttle that was orbiting. So then they went back to the shuttle. He was up on the rocket.
They could go back?
Yeah.
In their little thing, and they had to, like, dock?
It was like, it had to be perfect timing. Yeah. I mean...
Oh, it's not real then.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
I didn't know that part. How do they do it? They've never done it before. Now they're doing the perfect parallel park without that camera people have in their car now. You're just backing in.
And then some dude was able to replicate the spaceship in NASA in like 20 minutes to try things out when everything went wrong in Apollo 13.
How many was there 12 other Apollos?
Well, Apollo 11 was the one that was successfully landed on the moon.
Right, so was there 10 Apollos before that one, or they just went with 11?
Yeah. I don't know if there were 10 that went into space, but I believe that was the rocket. And the Apollo rockets were all for the moon. So, like, ours were specifically called that. 13's where it went wrong. Kish probably knows more about this than I do.
He does, but that's not helping, Kish. I'm trying to make this humorous, and you and Bobby are having a real fucking conversation, and I was just trying to do space docking, and nobody was letting me get there.
I didn't realize that's what you were getting.
I don't care about the moon.
Can I be
fuck
more honest?
The moon.
I'm
fuck
glad
space,
I shut down your
fuck Uranus. Fuck rings of Saturn. Fuck people that like planets. You're stupid. Figure out down here. No one's figured out down here yet. Why are you up there? Figuring out up there. You know what the fuck you're doing. Your wife hates you. Your kids think you're gay. You stink at life. You're no good at nothing. The people on your bowling team think you're dumb and you should use the other hand. And now you're like, let's talk about space. How about this satellite dish? Fuck you. Anyway, not you, Kish.
Speaking of using the other hand, I was lifting today. I'm sure you can tell.
What are we doing? What a brag?
No. I really hurt my wrist. But in doing some research on how to help it, I think I found the key to happiness.
You tell.
What would your theory be?
The key to happiness?
Based on what I've read, it's the perfect combination of caffeine,
okay,
testosterone,
yeah,
HGH.
Are we going back to this again where you're doing the fucking drugs?
So please just send me some steroids.
Oh my God. It's not. The steroids is not the key to happiness, because then once you're at that point, you're going to shrivel up later when you're not doing it later in life, and then you're not going to be happy because you peaked at this thing that you can't chase.
Oh yeah, Schwarzenegger looks terrible right now.
He does.
No, he does not.
Compared to what he did, yes, he does. If he never did that, he would look awesome right now. But because at one point he was that, he looks shitty.
Well, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm doing instead, but you guys know.
That's like
on.
when you see a famous model and she's 70, and like normally you'd be like, that's the hottest 7-year-old ever. Because she was the famous model everyone jerked off to, you're like, she looks like shit now. And you're like, she doesn't look like shit. She just looks like shit compared to the best fucking thing ever. It's dumb.
You know who the exception to that rule is?
Who was the best ever and looks good okay now?
Lindsay Lohan.
Dude, she looks like fucking hot garbage. She looks like
No, you
Rocky
fuck
Dennis.
off.
Dude,
Oh, you fuck off.
dude.
She looks so good now.
She looks so stretched and stupid. She looks like she's wearing a mask. She looks like she could be in Men in Black when they're pretending to be a person.
Well, guys,
She
we had a
looks
fun run doing the
stupid.
POS show. This was good. I don't know if I could stand by these comments.
Well, you're gonna. Now, who's fucking talking to me here? The LEM docked with the command module. Is that gay enough for you, Pat? Nope. I need to spit on the command module before you put it in there. I need some real gay on gay action. I wasn't asking for it to be more gay. I was asking it to be more funny.
The male G spot is what.
Could we not? Because everything has to come back to the butthole.
It's going to tomorrow morning for you.
No,
at 8
right
a.m.
now everything's out. Like all you
Yeah.
guys in these gay jokes, everything's out right now.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I whistled through my cheeks for like an hour. It was nothing but just like sail. Oh, by the way,
That sounds good.
to the employee at Target today who thought I didn't hear them, fuck you. Yeah, okay, I didn't realize what I was doing, and yeah, I guess I would have made fun of it too. But I was going to the store just to buy some coffee. They have a certain coffee I like there. I don't get it. So I got 2 of the packages of the coffee. But when I was going to shop quickly, I was like, oh, let me go to the Starbucks that's inside the Target. And I got a coffee. So I was drinking a coffee while buying coffee. And the employee walked by and said to another one, easy fucking dude. Too much. Too much coffee. And they laughed. Fuck you. I just have a drink while buying coffee. I wasn't eating a ham while buying a ham. That's too much.
You were at a Target?
Why are we going for the pacing of like no one talks for 2 minutes and then we say something? Why are we William Shatnering the podcast?
I think I might have a slight delay going on my end. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm responding pretty quick. I'm not trying to be.
We were for a while, then all of a sudden we sat in a couple chats.
No, so here's my thought. It was a Target, right?
Yeah.
Could you beat up the employee?
Am I gonna hit a woman? No.
Oh, it was a woman. Oh, she was trying to nag you then, dude.
Well, she was. Never mind. Oh, you said nag. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We Gino Biscontiing the bitch? What are we doing? The joke's not working. Let me say the worst thing ever.
No. She just
Right,
wanted you.
Stormy. There's no such thing. And I'm not going to... That cup of coffee is not going to last me forever. I needed more. And it's different coffee. I'm just having a beverage, and I bought coffee. Now,
And I've seen where you live. So in that neighborhood, when people tend to do too much of the thing that's bad for them, it involves Narcan and an ambulance. So you're going to be a little jittery this afternoon. Get over yourself.
what's Narcan?
What they give you when you overdose.
Oh, I thought that was methadone.
No, that's what they give you is fake heroin, so you don't go into withdrawal.
Wait, when you go to a methadone clinic, you're getting fake heroin?
Yeah.
What do you mean by fake heroin? It's not heroin or it's heroin light?
It hits the same receptors, but it doesn't, in theory, it doesn't get you high.
What about not in theory?
If you have never done heroin, I would, not based off of any personal anecdotal evidence, but I would imagine methadone can get you high.
Whoa, do you think one time we should do a show where you and I do methadone?
Nope.
Oh, okay. That'd be a fun episode, though. And then we call it methadone or methadone.
You ever just slept on sunshine? Because you should don't do that.
Just took my joke and threw back my joke at me. The joke boomerang.
Sorry, I'm on methadone.
You're not sharing it? Why are you doing methadone alone? Why are you meth alone? Oh, dude, last night when I was on stage just for the 30 people just doing whatever crowd work I could, when I started just doing puns after, like, some people were like, I did a couple Eskimo ones where someone goes, all right, dude, enough.
You got to talk about the guy,
The fat guy?
the fire truck.
Yeah, this guy was like, okay, for some of you that are listening that were fans of Opie and Anthony and Compound Media, he had like big A body, like, you know what I mean, like
He
was heavier than Big A.
No, but I'm saying, but like
Yeah.
that looseness. It wasn't like there's some fat guys who were solid, and you like,
Yeah.
they could be strong. There was nothing. Everything was loose. He was like a huge bag of dough, and
His body was the Lindsay Lohan face of fat people.
he had a T-shirt that he obviously pulls at the neck to get over his head because it was just like it looked like it was like wrung at. It wasn't straight around. It was like it was all mangled and shit. And then the shirt had a little stain on the side. And he was sitting right up front with this other guy who was not a thin man but looked svelte compared to this fat motherfucker. And
That's why I hang out with Big A.
yeah, there's a giant fucking guy. And when you went up first, you were talking to them like, oh, they're dealing with the jokes okay, but everybody was gonna make fun of these two fat guys, whatever. But that guy was, when I asked him what he does for a living, he's like, I'm a fireman. That was the only time in my life I showed restraint on stage because I want to say a lot of shit. And I'm like, all right, I'll let it go. But who are you saving? Who the fuck is he saving?
Sorry, I'm back.
All right, well, I missed you.
I love you.
Who's he saving? Who the fuck is this fat fuck saving? He can't even get through doorways.
Dude, you made a joke where you were like, think about it this way. It'd be half of a person you had to save. And no one in the audience got it because he was so fat they could not imagine this dude saving anybody.
To be clear, the joke was based on if somebody on a wheelchair was in a fire and their legs didn't work, I'm like, that'd be easy because you only have to save half of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, you're right. Everyone's like, wait, what? And I'm like, I think he kept waiting for me to do that. I did think about calling, you know, like in the cartoon ones when people would jump out of a fire onto a trampoline. I was saying maybe he's the trampoline, but I was like, all right, because that's too old timey, I think, and that would date me a little bit because I don't think people even do that joke anymore.
All I could think after I dropped you off on the ride home was, dude, nobody wants fireman Tim showing up because he's going to break down the door to every house so we can fit in. Like, it's not going to be a necessity of, oh, they're trapped. It's just going to be, I need to get in to save you.
You know the story of Walter Hudson, correct?
No,
All right. For those Kish will know this too because we're older gentlemen.
because he went to high school with him.
No, nobody went to high school with Walter Hudson. Walter Hudson is one of my favorite stories of all time. When I first meet somebody and we get to know each other, usually when I'm dating, it'll be like the second or third time we're hanging out that I will, for no reason, go, are you familiar with the tale of Walter Hudson? And this has nothing to do with making anyone happy. I just think that it's my goal in life to let people know that Walter Hudson was a person. Now, this was probably in the early, like, before I graduated, so like early, like 91, 92, around that time. The time when the beginnings of like the Jerry Springers and all those kind of shows were out, but they didn't run out.
Oh, yes, I do know.
Okay, but I'll
Please
finish it for
continue.
everybody anyway. But like this is before they ran out of material and they had to go who's the father and all that stuff, and they would do interesting things. Now Walter Hudson was a big fat man, and his claim to fame is he got so fat he could not leave his house anymore. And the reason why they knew that is before the internet, things like that, is because he had to call out too fat for work. He was so fat that he could not get out of his home. He could not fit through doorways to get out, to get into a vehicle and go to work. He had eaten that much. And the reason why they had found out he was getting close to that fat is not because family or friends visited. It's because the pizza delivery guy had noticed that he wasn't able to order things anymore because he was having trouble getting to the door. So the pizza delivery people went and checked on his health. And that's when he was like, when he came to the door to answer it, but he could barely get there. So then when he tried to go to work the next day, he was like, oh my God, I can't. And he had to call in fat for work. And then when they found this out, and it became like a news story because that's what happened back in the day. When you found out somebody was like too fat or too tall or too midget or whatever they were, you would fucking call everybody and go, you got to hear about this. He's a big fat guy. And then it got in the news, and I think it was Springer, was one of them, where they were like, yeah, it might have been Maury, but it was one of those two, where they were like, we need to have this guy on the show. And they're like, he can't be on the show. He can't leave his fucking house. I'm like, well, what we'll do is we'll get construction people and we'll cut the wall out of his fucking bedroom. They cut the whole fucking wall out. They got a helicopter and a thing that carries elephant, like when Dumbo got shipped. And they put Walter Hudson in this thing and he had to lay pancake style and fly in the air as they flew him to a show so he could be there and go, look how fat he is. And he flew in. And then I guess they had to fly him back. We don't learn that part. I wonder if they just sent him on like a freight train on the way back. But then also, they had to imagine that job. What do you have to do today? I have to take apart a guy's wall because he's Kool-Aid Man and he can't get through. And then we have to put it back once he's back in there.
If that's how people of that size, never mind.
Go ahead,
Never
good.
mind. I've been fighting making this joke all night. No,
Make
no,
the
no.
joke. We're a show that makes jokes. If you're not doing it, what's the point?
Maybe that explains why certain people only come to work once a week. If that's how they have to get there every day.
Yeah. They get there once a week. Yeah, because also some people's jobs involve an elevator and there's no limit. So you can't even go up. You know what I mean? This guy, if there was an elevator on Maury, he wouldn't have been on the show.
Look, I'll do the job, but I can only afford a helicopter once a week, and it's getting expensive to keep repatching this wall.
Now, I don't know about the part afterward, which I want to see that movie. By the way, there should be a documentary on all of that. There's so many documentaries on everything. There should be the Walter Hudson documentary. If anyone's out there and wants to do it, I will definitely, I'll narrate it for free because I love Walter Hudson. If you make it, I will be your Morgan Freeman and I will do the narration of Walter Hudson. But I will laugh. So that's one thing you don't get out of like a Sir David Attenborough. You don't get chuckles. I will definitely. And then, dude, they put him in a helicopter and he was flying in the air like this. Like, I think that'd be more fun for a documentary. Yo, he was so fat. Like, how fat was he?
Check this shit out. That or just, the black kids that react to rock music. I would like them to talk about what they're seeing and like not have the fact. Just, what? A fucking helicopter?
I would want that. I think I've told this story on here before. You know what? We'll make this a piece of shit. This is a POS story. And people out there, you can play along too, and you let us know what you think the piece of shit this story is. When I was in high school, we would go to the movies during the summertime. Like a lot of teenage kids did. You know what I mean? You'd go to the movies at night, whatever. And people, our movie theater, the big movie theater was in another town. So not only from people from my town, not my high school were going there, but people from other towns too. And sometimes there'd be like, depending on the night, 75 to 100 kids there at one point, whatever. And before the movies would start, people would hang out front and kind of, try to check out people from other places or whatever. And one day it was kind of raining a little bit. And while it was raining, at the theater, we were all standing around. They were kind of inside. And a truck pulled up to the front. A big, giant pickup truck pulled up to the front. And the truck stopped. We're all like, oh, what's going on there? These two little, like, white trash guys are in the front of the truck. One of them gets out and goes into the movie theater. Or doesn't even talk to the other guy. Just goes bolting right in to go talk to someone who works there. Kind of watch him, like, what's going on. The other guy gets around to the back, puts down the gate, gets, like, this wood plank that's kind of like a ramp, and like lays it down. Then he lifts the tarp. Under the tarp was the fattest man I've ever seen. This man was so fat he couldn't be in the truck, and they know they have to tarp him and put him in a truck to travel him around. And he was just sitting there like this, and all the high school kids were like, whoa, like this is crazy. And then the other guy comes back in now, because now what he did was he was telling the usher guy, or the movie guy, hey, we're here with our big fat friend, and you need to pop open the double doors that no one ever opens together so we can get this fella in. And then he comes back, and then one of them stands at the end of the ramp, like the catch, and the other one goes into the truck and starts to, like, shove. And then the big fat guy just kind of goes like this and scoots his fat cheeks as much as he can as they push him, and he slides down a little ramp. And the ramp was a very thick piece of, like, this could be a wall somewhere. And he kind of slides down, and then he just gets up, and then he starts like weeble wobbling his way. And all the kids part to see as they're watching him just go in. And he walks over and he goes right to the part to get the ticket. And his friends already purchased the ticket. And we were all paying attention. Some people were paying attention to the concession stand as one of the white trash guys went over to get the popcorn. And he got all the popcorn. Like, I'm not kidding. You know, when you look at the popcorn, it's in a yellow bag. They just bagged it up and they gave him a garbage bag of popcorn. They got a couple giant beverages for him. The other guy went to go buy the ticket, and we all paid attention to what he was buying, and he got the Last Action Hero, with who we mentioned, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So every kid was like, well, fuck that. We know we're going to see Last Action Hero. So Last Action Hero sold out from 0 tickets to like all of them in 2 seconds. So everybody go watch this giant fat guy go to the movies. Now, all the kids went in. They were all told to sit down. The big fat guy was standing up front in front of the screen. And because he had to wait, because once everyone sat down, the usher had to say, excuse me, usually we have fire exits here, here, and here, but today we only have fire exits here and here. So he could sit in the aisle part and block one whole aisle. And then he would, on the ground, and they put the popcorn in the middle, and he had 3 drinks around him, and he was just there. We were there for the whole movie. I did not see one scene of Last Action Hero because I just watched this man eat a bag of popcorn and drink and just sit there the whole fucking time as he knew all kids' eyes were on him the whole fucking time. When it was over, we had to all wait because he had to get up first because half the room couldn't leave until he left. And they had to like prop him up. And then one of the trash guys ran back out, got the truck. Now what they do is he can't obviously go back up the ramp. So when they pull back, they have the tarp ready, one thing. He leans on the gate. And then when he kind of leans, he kind of like seesaws. So he's kind of like getting a little motion going. So one guy gets in the back and pulls on his shoulders. The other guy pushes his ankles up. And he lays back. They pushed him in, they put the tarp over, and they drove off. And it was the greatest thing I ever fucking saw. Who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it me for still remembering this 30-something years, like 35 years fucking later, and like it being so visual and wonderful? Is it all the people who just watched and no one said, hey, maybe now in cancel culture, you'd be like, don't allow this. You're enabling him. You would yell at the two guys for enabling. They're like, no, let's watch the monster. Yeah, let's watch the monster do all this shit. Is it the giant fat guy for getting so fat, but also having a love for theater? Like, when you get that fat, you're supposed to stay in, Walter Hudson style. You're not supposed to do that. Is it the two guys? I don't know their story, but I want to know. Are they his relatives? I hope so. Because if they're not, if they're just two guys who have somehow taken upon this is their task, where this fat guy has to hire them, or they just, this is what they do. How does one of them know to be the popcorn guy and the movie guy, and the other one is the fucking push the legs guy? Do they switch on different movies? I never saw the guy again. I'm sure he's not alive now. How do they know what jobs to fucking do? Is it the movie theater for catering to this? They should be like, listen, no, we're not open to double. I mean, yes, I guess it did work. They were exploiting it because they knew when a bunch of high school kids were there, they were going to sell out that show because everybody, no other movie had people in it because everybody was going to that. Or is it Arnold Schwarzenegger for making a movie that was, I guess, so good in the trailers that a 5,000-pound man was like, get me in a truck, ship me like cargo, and bring me somewhere so I can watch me some Last Action Hero? Who's the piece of shit in the store?
The fat guy.
Why?
You can't go see The Last Action Hero when you look like that.
Why? He wants to see the last one because he's going to eat him.
You should go see like Free Willy or the Titanic. What's another one? Earth, the planet Earth, where they just talk about the hippos. Hungry, Hungry Hippos, the animated movie. You don't get to go see The Last Action Hero.
To be fair, Bobby,
you should go see The Least Action Hero because that's who you are.
In some parts of America, what do you call a sandwich? A hero. So maybe he thought it was The Last Action Hero, like the action in making the last giant sandwich.
Dear AMC, I think it is incredibly false advertising to claim that you are showing a movie called The Last Action Hero.
I also like that you did comic book guy's voice from The Simpsons, which is who, even though I saw the guy, I still picture him as comic book guy from The Simpsons. Because that is one of the fattest men I've ever seen. And he's not even a man, he's a cartoon.
Oh, man. Who is the fattest man you've ever seen?
That guy. And then second, Ralphie May.
I never met Ralphie in person.
I met him twice, and he was monstrous. Monstrous.
I guess it depends on how you define
monstrous.
Fat. Well, yeah.
I want to do 3. I thought I had to do it in 3s. You know what I mean? Like, I did it twice, and I felt like comedy. You have to do 3 for each fold under his chin. I had to do 3.
Oh God. I guess it depends on how you define fattest. But we had a patient who was a quadriplegic. Like he got paralyzed when he was 6.
He had to be patient.
Yeah, he had to be very patient.
He's the most patient man of all times.
And I was his camp counselor one year, and the thing about Brandon was he got fed through a G-tube. So, like, he had a stomach thing, and they would feed him through there. But he also liked to taste food, so he would just eat as well. And my man was pushing 4 bills and was probably, like, 4 foot.
You just brought up a good point. Real quick, I'm sorry, but, like, it's so funny how many giant fat people will be like, I don't eat. It's just a glandular thing. I like when a fat guy is truthful and goes, I love food. I love the taste of food. I love putting my mouth. I know I'm fat because I love food. So like I respect that guy way more for saying that than just doing like it's a gland thing or I don't eat. It's just something that like I just put on for the winter a couple 1,000 pounds or whatever. I like that better.
Yes, I like that. COVID.
Wow,
We lost some good
where
ones.
have you been to? Like that's
COVID
well
we
over
lost
2
some good
years
ones.
ago. Frank is doing other things. Frank right now is he's 81 years old. It's not always time to be on the show. But if you want to see
But
Frank,
welcome back, King Kong Ortiz.
Frank just played Santa Claus this weekend in his local town, and Frank is going to be performing at the casino with me, every month at Mohegan Sun. So if you're in Connecticut, you can see Frank there. But can we get back to our fucking story about another King Kong?
Bundy.
King Kong sandwich eater. So you really think it's the fat guy?
Build a movie theater in your basement. If you can afford a garbage truck and go to the theater regularly enough that they know the procedure, that they know to shut down an aisle and make an announcement about which exits are closed, you can afford to build a good enough theater in your place.
First of all, maybe I painted a picture I didn't mean to paint. If you in any way thought this truck was in shape or good, I'm sorry. It wasn't like a brand new, like you wouldn't be hearing like a rock and a song in a commercial. This was like a jalopy.
Oh,
Like,
it was a pickup truck.
Yeah.
I thought you referred to it as a garbage truck earlier. I thought he was in the back of a garbage truck.
No.
and then
It was a pickup truck.
They could use like the lift thing to push him out.
No, there was no lift or anything. He literally just went to the gate and they had to like push it, like totter and then push.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And that was the way they did that. Yeah, and believe
And
me.
it's whatever truck company, like whatever brand made that truck, because you know those commercials where they have like two pull against each other? You're telling me if you just used that guy going up the hill in a fucking desert, you wouldn't sell more of those trucks?
Dude, you would
America's
sell
fat.
so many. Like you couldn't do that now, but in the 90s, you definitely could have done that commercial. We can carry 3 of the. They could have even like used people from that time. We could carry 3 refrigerator Perrys in the back of this truck. And they just got
Oh yeah,
all
well, we
fucking
got
back there.
one comic book man and the Doublemint twins.
We have
just stand on
Dom
top of each other.
and Peter DeLuise in the back of this truck. So much DeLuise, so little time. But also, and I know what you mean, Bobby, if you can afford to go to the movies all the time. But I think when you're 5,000 pounds, you only have to go somewhere once to be remembered. You know what I mean? Like, once he went one, if you and I go to somewhere 6 or 7 times, eventually they go, oh, wait, you seem to come here all the time. What's your name? You know what I mean? But if you go one time, if you're a giant monster, like people only see Bigfoot once, but they remember that one time they saw him, even though he's not even real. This is the same thing. Once you see it, you're like, whoa.
I do like to think at the AMC corporate meeting, they were like, we had a unique situation at the Norwich movie theater, which led to us writing this new fat fuck protocol. So if you have a fat fuck come to your theater, this is how we handle it.
Or better, if they have the meeting and they go, Carl must have moved to Connecticut. Because the Worcester, Massachusetts location was dealing with Carl for a while. But unless they've spawned another Carl, he's in Connecticut now. It's like, God damn it, we got to ship more popcorn there. It's like,
Did you ever play Parcheesi?
I want to say yes, I have.
I think I played it once, and it was like the board game that tricked your parents into thinking it was a smart game or something. But all I remember is if you had.
Can
the
you
two
quickly
elephants-
explain Parcheesi to those of us who don't know what the fuck you're talking about?
No, because it's like all I remember from this game is if you were the elephants and they landed on squares side by side, it created a blockade. And all I can think is, what would they do if there were 2?
I wouldn't know that game at all. There's only elephants I know. Oh no, I was about to be an idiot. Never mind. I was gonna say is hungry hippo. I'm happy I caught myself. I'm still always gonna be the person that leans into my stupidity. But I was gonna say the only elephants I know are in that game, hungry hippo, which is the most retarded thing of all time. I don't know that game. My mom would have us play Othello. I couldn't tell you how to play that, but we had Othello. We played a lot, and backgammon as children.
Chess was just what my household settled on.
We weren't rocking the intelligence for chess.
No, I was decent at chess because one of the cool kids a year ahead of me was, so I got good at it. My parents if we're like, oh, he showed an interest, let's lean in. And then the chess coach at our elementary school wasn't good enough
They shouldn't call him a coach.
It was a her, and they shouldn't have. And
No,
she
not
she
for
admittedly, like, she just opened it up to let him in. Well, it is a sport.
No, but it should be called chess master. I like that.
Okay.
Master. Like
But
karate
that's-
master, not karate coach.
So the issue is it means something in chess. Like, it's a certain rating, and this woman was so far from that. Like, I was better at chess in 3rd grade than she was. So
Was she
my dad was
attractive?
like, no. No. She was an old lady. But, like, it was nice that she ran this every day.
I'm sorry. It just sounded like we switched bodies for a second. Because
No, yeah, that is your
sometimes
that is
you
your
would
line
say,
usually.
is somebody attractive? And I would go, no, they were old.
Yeah, no, that's
Which
fair.
doesn't mean they can't be attractive if they're old.
Well, I mean,
I've been told.
but so my dad was like, "Yeah, I could be your coach." I was like, "No, you couldn't, Dad. I can beat you." And then I remember just for 3 nights seeing my dad studying a chess book, and then just him kicking the shit out of me for like 3 weeks. He was like, "I could be a coach."
Oh. Yeah, that happens also, like, I think when a lot of kids start playing a sport and their dad introduces them to the sport and he's like, oh, I'll bring you to the batting cages. And the dad goes in the cages and he gets one hit and he's like, I should coach.
Yeah,
And then he just goes and coaches, but then he realizes he doesn't know the rules besides like the couple things that an announcer said on a game they watched, and he doesn't even think about things like line up or move. He's like, "Oh, my kid's gonna be the best." And then he realizes his kid stinks, and he still shoehorns his kid right into the fucking middle of it. And there's better athletes there. He doesn't know what to do. So in that case, you'd rather have some old fucking lady because at least she doesn't have any kids because she's all barren and shit.
very true, very true. The difference, I think, is in this day and age, and like this was the borderline of that. You have the internet, so you can learn anything the right way. Like my dad just studied and beat me. This isn't going nowhere. I don't know why I brought it up.
No, I like that you brought it up. Okay, I'm gonna go with this. We'll probably end it on this kind of thing, but I like this idea of a question because I've never really thought about this myself. You know how you and I have met people that are like were raised, and I'm not shitting on them, but just saying raised like with this like loving family that they have all these good memories. We've all met those people. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
they're the ones who right away just go, "My father always taught me this," or "My mother taught me that," or this. What is the one thing like positive that when you think about where you are today in life that you do that was taught to you by a parent, and what was it? Like, do you have that memory of like, even if it's grandparent, whatever, this person, the reason why I do this now is because this person did this.
It's my dad. As much as I give him a hard time and like make the joke about him being a hard ass, 100%. My dad's whole thing was just never quit. Like, and I know it seems stupid, but like made it a philosophy. So to the point where now, if you're up against a challenge or the odds seem, it's like probably part of the reason why I'm here. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't gonna quit, even though I should. Run through the brick wall. I remember my brother quit or missed a grounder, and like the other team scored, and then he struck out swinging, or vice versa. And my brother was like, "Oh, the game was over." My dad made him watch that play where Larry Bird stole the inbounds pass because he turned the ball over right before it. It was like, it's never fucking over. And I remember watching it like 150 times. So I think that would probably be it. Like, it doesn't matter the size of the dog in the fight; it's the fight in the dog.
Now, when your dad taught you that, was he clear, or did he just say never quit? So you're like, that's for everything. Because like I know that there's times in your life where you're like, why did I work at Dick's Sporting Goods for so long? Dad said never quit. Like, why am I hanging out with this woman that's being mean to me? Dad said never quit. So was he clear that you should never quit on a thing that has a purpose and you can overcome? Or was he just like, don't leave?
So, no, not by words. And clearly, I'm still learning that lesson.
I was gonna say because one thing I know about you is you don't quit even the things that you should.
No, but I will say the way he lives his life. Like, a lot of times people preach a philosophy and then don't back it up, but like embodies that, and that's how I'm learning to kind of adapt. Like, if he cares about something, he's all in, whether it be his kids or, you know, medicine, whatever he's doing. So I'm working on that, but I also don't like to lose.
First of all, I hope that a doctor is all into medicine. If he's just half and half, Mets on medicine.
Yeah, no, but like, there are doctors who do a great job in the office, then go home and go to sleep or go live the life. You know, they're 9 to 5 doctors. Like, my dad wakes up at 5 a.m., does work till he falls asleep at night, and then starts the day. You know, it's probably killing him, but he likes what he does.
You know who else did that? Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable. He was that guy made sure every morning when he woke up at the Cosby house, he would go down to his downstairs gynecology basement office and make sure women were down there still sleeping too.
Still nice and asleep.
Like dead asleep. I don't know. I know my brother's gonna watch this. Like, I don't remember. I learned more from, you know what, to be honest, I learned way more from watching Jake, my brother, do things and go, okay, that's what work ethic is. It took me longer in life to do that. This is how you talk with people and make sure that you build relationships with people and things like that nature. Not that my parents didn't do that, but I just didn't pay attention to shit. I do know that whenever I'm dealing with anyone who's Latino and they're in any kind of like service industry, like valet or like a landscape or anything, that I call them boss or chief, because my dad always called Latino people that were working somewhere boss or chief. I don't know if that's a good thing, but they seem like they feel like they're being respected. I don't think it was done out of respect, but like if I'm going to a Yankee game and we're going to park in one of those sidelines. Go ahead, what was it?
Your dad was just confused and thought they were Indians. That's why he kept calling them all chief.
Well, he called them boss too, so I don't know. They're never a boss of anything. But like, I think it was all more sarcasm. But like, whenever we go to like a place where, you could park at Yankee Stadium's parking and pay $1 billion, or there was a Spanish guy who found a dirt lot and he fucking had a tire on it, and then written on the tire was $7 or most cash. And then like, you'd go there and you go, all right, chief, all right, boss, all right, sport. So I learned to call people that. And whenever I'm in a situation where like there's a Spanish maintenance guy or cleaning guys like that, and everyone else kind of being mean to him, I always throw him a boss or a chief. And then he's like, oh, thank you, Senor Pat, or whatever the fuck. And then he's all happy.
Yeah. No, I tend to do that as well, but I think that's just a more respectful thing.
I also call any woman that answers the phone in the service industry lady, but not to be rude. I just like to go, lady, or like, hello, lady. And they kind of laugh, but I don't know why I always just do that. And I found the other day my daughter had to deal with calling a bank about something. And she told me, she goes, well, I've been influenced by you, because the person would, it was a smaller bank and there was a thing on there. They were saying like, oh, it's a fraud thing. She's like, it's not a fraud thing. I wanted to do that. They're like, yeah, but we didn't allow it. She's like, can you please allow it? They're like, no, we can't. And she's like, can you just fix it? And she's like, no. And after a couple minutes, she goes, I'm just going to switch to a different bank. And they're like, was there anything else we can do? They're like, yeah, lady. You could,
yeah.
you could fix it, and then I wouldn't have to leave. They're like, well, besides that, like, no, lady, I can't. She goes, I called her lady like 12 times. I didn't even mean to. Her inner me slipped in and would just like, gotta call this person lady.
I did one to my brother, I know for certain, and that's calling the ref sir as you're screaming at him. Like, sir, you got to be fucking kidding me. That's the worst call I've ever seen. But you called him sir, so you were respectful.
I used to do a bit a long time ago when I first started about when, and the bit was about just stupidly about when you're going to have a child. That's how long ago it was in my life. And when you go to the father-in-law and you're telling him that, we're having a baby, and what you're telling him is, I come in your daughter now. I used to come on her, now I come in her, the whole fucking thing. But I was like, you do it respectfully, so I always go, sir.
You should bring that back.
Like, sir, if I can call you sir. So, I used to like just hug your, remember when you used to rub her belly? Now my jizz is in there. And now we're going to give you a picture of it, sir, if I can call you sir. And put it on the fridge so you can show everybody where my jizz is at, sir, if I can call you sir. I used to cover like a glazed donut, sir. It's like, dad, maybe dad. No, okay, sir, sorry, sir. Like, so.
Pops? Nope. Okay, back to sir.
Because I popped something in your daughter.
Yeah. Popped a few loads.
So if any of you are subscribed to Compound Media, make sure that you are watching on Tuesday at 4 o'clock, the Anthony Cumia show time, and you're going to see me and Bobby and both our friend Matthew James from Radio 104 in Connecticut, and he also runs a wrestling promotion, shit like that. It's going to be on. We're going to do the Conspiracies Nuts show and have some fun with that. If you don't subscribe for a month or so. Check us out. You can see Bobby and all the great things he does on there. I've got a bunch of things I've done there in the past. You can search in the archives. And if not, you can just watch that one show and you'll be okay. It's not too expensive. You have little laughs. So watch our show on there. It'll be fun. Bobby, you got anything you got to promote, plug?
Yes. It may not be relevant to your sports team, but the Davy Mack Sports Program has released the follow-up to Fuck Tom Brady, and that is, of course, Fire the Ferret. That is Brian Cashman. Check it out now at eastsidedave.com or youtube.com/eastsidedave.tv.
On our
Or
way
on his
back, I
Twitter or
watched the video
Instagram.
with you. It was fucking awesome. It's very funny. So people go check it. Even if you don't know, I was saying to you, even if you don't know who Brian Cashman is, they made it so well that you could just laugh at what they're making fun of. If you're not a fan and don't know the general manager of the fucking Yankees, you still go, yeah, that guy looks like a ferret, and this is funny.
And most of the references are more funny regardless of who it's about.
Right, I was saying,
But-
you guys did a great
Yeah,
job.
yeah, yeah.
Like a comedian, you guys did a great. I'll tell the people. I know you know, but as a comedian, sometimes people will tell a joke and the reference is so like niche that not everyone gets it. But a good comic can still do those 2 or 3 little framing things that make sure that even if you don't know the reference or the show or what they're talking about, you can still get the joke. And that's what that video did. It was fucking very good. So
Well, thank you very much, Pat. And it's gotten good reviews so far. Bennington said it was great today. They played it on his show. Morning played it. So check it out. If you like baseball, send it to your friends. You know, Dave's a good dude. Roy's a great guy. They really put something special together, and the video came out well. So check it out.
all right, so Tuesday, there's 2 ways you can see me. You could either watch Compound Media and see me there at 4 o'clock.
Or be a proctologist.
That's was the whole joke. I was
No,
gonna do.
fuck me. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. That's funnier. You beat me to the butt punch. It's fine.
you
No,
had
I
a
like
show
that we
that
both
night. My
thought
bad,
it.
dude.
That's fun. Everyone saw it coming anyway. It was an easy butthole softball, and I'm fine with you doing it. It was good. But
You're not going to see the doctor come in tomorrow because you're going to be generally anesthetic.
someone told me that they give you the pictures afterwards. If they do, that's gonna be my new profile picture, the inside of my butthole.
I got news. It's not a picture.
It's a video.
Yeah, you're going to get an MP4, dog. We can put it on the Patreon. You want to see inside Pat's
Can
butthole?
we break down on here? Can we
That's
snipe
what we should
stream
do
my
on
butthole?
Kumia. Dude, we should do that on Kumia. Just break down the
Wait, will I get it tomorrow?
You should.
Oh, we'll bring it in. Yeah,
Yeah, dude, that'd be amazing.
we'll just get. See, the good thing is good thing Garrett and Drew don't watch. We'll just bring it in and just say, "Here, can you fire this in?"
Yeah, that'd
put
be
it on.
amazing.
And we can say we're talking about like the black hole in space, but it's just my inside my butt.
Yeah, dude, I love this.
If I get it, we're doing it. If I get it,
Awesome.
we're playing butthole on Conspiracies Nuts tomorrow. We're getting live
It's
butthole
gonna
camp.
be the conspiracy is this Pat's butt?
Yeah, or is it someone else's butt? Was there a grassy butthole where someone else was there?
Ooh, was there a second shooter?
I hope there's nobody shooting.
Back
I
and to
hope-
the left.
I hope the
Back and to
goalie is
left.
strong. I really do. I'll be asleep. I don't need that shit happening. And then Wednesday. Oh, Wednesday I got nothing. No, Wednesday I'm on some kind of podcast. I forget. I'll promote it. Wednesday in the morning. Thursday, if you're in Connecticut at 7 o'clock, I'm performing at the Armada Brewing. I'm headlining that show at 7 o'clock. Come check that out. And then at 10 o'clock, I'll be at Comics Roadhouse in Mohegan Sun again, performing there. Friday morning, I'll be at Jordan's Furniture for the Chaz and AJ toy drive. You bring an unwrapped toy. You can see Foghat, Finger 11. They've got this guy who was supposed to be the mayor of Bridgeport and the guy who is the mayor of Bridgeport. And they were fighting and feuding and there was like cheating and stuff. And then they're going to make them sing Sonny and Cher's I Got You Babe together. There's a lot of other crazy shit happening there. So if you're in the area, you want to help out kids, you can 6 in the morning, you can drink and party in a furniture store. It's got zip lines and shit. And you can help out kids who are unfortunate not getting Christmas gifts. Just bring an unwrapped toy, check that out. And then at night, I have a private party where I'm making fun of an 80-year-old man for his birthday. I don't know what that is, but I'm doing that. So, thank you, everybody. I'm going to now go and see if I can get anything else out of my butthole. But I lasted the whole show, so I think I deserve championships. I want to thank Stormy. Hey, Ken Sports Talk jumped in. He's just hitting on Stormy, so sorry to get away. You're flirting. Kish, everybody that was here. Who else did we miss before, Bobby? There was
The Nader. We had what was the guy's name from Bobby Sports Talk?
Scott.
Pete Scott. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, right?
But anyone else that watched, thank you guys so much. Like I said, if there was an
Lucas.
issue with this, I'm sorry, Lucas. If there was an issue with the sound, too bad because you didn't say anything during the fucking thing. Bye, Stormy.
trying.
We always
Goodbye,
appreciate you.
everybody.
And bye, Kenneth Sports Talk. I guess now Bobby and Kenneth Sports Talk are fighting to be who marries you first. It's like the Bachelorette, but with Stormy, and now we're having battles.
Ah, boy. Back in this game again, huh? Every facet of my life. Battling for attention and affection.
Bobby doesn't have sports talk, but Bobby's got love talk. So, but you want Bobby's love talk? Bobby's sex talk is way better than Kenneth's sports talk. No, I'm kidding. Kenneth's probably got a great show.
I do think the way I'm going to handle these is just going like this. go see Pat with Finger 11, or tune in to Compound Media and see 11 fingers inside of Pat tomorrow during Anthony Cumi's show. If you can't beat him, join him, and don't. No, if you can't join him, beat him, and don't be a piece of shit.
And I hope that finger in my butthole doesn't start to make me a paralyzer. Hey-oh. Right, shove it right in my fog hat.